Okay. Today's project for your consideration is called the Residences at Rancho Mirage Country Club. This project involves multiple applications, including an environmental, which we're recommending a mitigated negative declaration for. It includes a general plan zoning land use map amendment on approximately 25 acres in order of private open space in order to permit a hotel and 108 condominium units. Tentative tract map is involved, which divides the 25 acres into 8 parcels. A preliminary development plan is involved, which prescribes all landscaping and architecture within the resort development, and a development agreement is also proposed. I'd like to thank our subcommittee council members Ted Weil and Charles Townsend for assisting staff in navigating through the sometimes challenging process over the past 18 months. Their questions, comments, and feedback have been invaluable in moving this project forward to this stage of considering final entitlements this afternoon. At this point, I'd like to turn the first portion of the presentation over to City Attorney Steve Quintanilla, who will summarize the salient aspects of the development agreement. Steve?
Thank you, Bud. Same audience from Planning Commission plus more for today. Okay. Some of you probably heard this, heard our presentation, but we have to do it again. This is a very unique project in that it not only requires, certain changes to our zoning and we're dealing with a different kind of project. We're not dealing with your straightforward, run-of-the-mill subdivision project, but we're also including a condo hotel component into this project in addition to your traditional hotel project. And because we are dealing with the condo hotel project, the municipal code requires us to actually prepare and consider a development agreement. A development agreement is an agreement between the city and the developer with respect to certain standards that are going to be imposed on the condo hotel development component of the project. And so that's why we need a development agreement here. Typically, we wouldn't require one or need one if we were just dealing with a project that did not have such a component attached to it. So in California allows cities and developers to enter into development agreements that basically provide assurances to the developer that we're not going to change the rules on the developer sometime in the future. Sometimes when we approve projects, the city can change the rules and regulations in the future if we have a change in our rules and regulations, but in this case, we won't be able to do that unless there's some sort of health or safety issue that comes up in the future. And with respect to the condo hotel project standards, the city, in order to relieve or to change some of those standards with respect to this particular project, requires us to have a development agreement. So in our code, for the development standards for condo hotels, typically, the default rule is that you can't have more than 10% of the total amount of units in the project be condo hotel units. So 10% of this project would limit them to 17 condo hotel units. The proposal in the development agreement is to allow them to have up to 65% of those units as condo hotel units. That's 108 units. And that request is being made by the developer with the support of the HOA board of directors who we've been dealing with, and that's for marketing purposes, I assume. The other restriction that's in the code is that an owner cannot rent their unit or occupy their unit for more than 27 calendar days per year. We're relieving that to remove that restriction, so we can have some full-time owners there. When I talk about the owners, I'm talking about fractional owners. So this is not a timeshare. This is an actual interest in real property, which is different than a timeshare. When you own a timeshare, you own interest in time. In the case of fractional owners, they actually own the real estate. The other restriction that we're changing here is that under the current rules in the municipal code, the owner cannot rent out the unit for more than 27 calendar days per month. And we're relieving them of that restriction. And the purpose of the 27 calendar days is that anytime there's a unit that's rented out for 27 consecutive days or less per month, the city collects a transient occupancy tax, which a lot of people know as a hotel bed tax. So that's the reason why the primary reason why we need a development agreement. On top of that, we have a very unique situation with this project because we have a really complicated history that goes back long ago when Alan Seaman was here and Ron Beeples was here. So I'm sure they're looking down on us, thanking this council, please, let's get through this. And this is going to resolve a lot of the conflict that's been in existence out there for many years. So we also have a very unique situation here because of the ownership interests. In Rancho Mirage Country Club, we have the owners of the units. They own their units as a condominium interest. So it's just like a condominium project, except that they have separate detached units in some cases. But most of the common areas, including the lakes and the golf course and the clubhouse, are owned by somebody else. And if many of you recall, there's been a lot of issues with respect to the operation of the golf course and the dead grass, and the city's been involved with that. And finally, we reached a consensus amongst the board of directors who we've been working with and the representatives of the golf course property and the lakes and the other golf course related facilities that they've come up with this plan to build a hotel development as part of this residential project that includes as a component the condo hotel portion. And also there's going to be some renovation of the golf course. And after the golf course is renovated, everything's approved, the homeowners association is going to take control and ownership of the golf course. So that's the reason why we have a development agreement. And Bud, our planner over here, is going to go through the details of each of the land use entitlements.
Thank you, Mr. Quintanilla. Okay. So the residents at Rancho Mirage Country Club, the proposed project is located in the middle of Rancho Mirage Country Club. This aerial shows existing conditions, including the clubhouse and the surrounding 266 dwelling units. To the north of Rancho Mirage Country Club is Section 31 specific plan, which is currently undergoing entitlement. To the east is residential estate zoning along Vista del Sol. To the south is Eisenhower Medical Center, and to the west is the S and Desert Island. The existing general plan and zoning of Rancho Mirage Country Club is very low-density residential, RL2, and as shown in yellow, with private open space designation for the golf course and golf course-related amenities shown in green. The proposed map amendment does not affect underlying zoning of existing homes within Rancho Mirage Country Club or the outer 9 holes of golf. The proposed amendment would change a 24.7 acre portion in the center of Rancho Mirage Country Club to resort hotel zoning, as shown on the screen. This would allow the proposed conversion of the existing clubhouse to a hotel lobby, permit 60 hotel rooms, and the associated 108 condominium units. A tentative tract map for condominium purposes is also provided as a part of this project. The parcel boundaries correspond with the proposed phasing plan. 8 lots are being proposed. Lot 1 is the resort hotel, and Lot 8 is the inner refurbished 9 holes of golf, with the remaining lots being proposed condominiums in phases. As you can see on the preliminary grading plans, the majority of existing homes in Rancho Mirage Country Club sit at a much higher elevation than the proposed new buildings in this project. As indicated on the outer portions of this slide, the black text with blue arrows surrounding the image represents the pad elevations of existing homes within Rancho Mirage Country Club. The green arrows and text indicate how much higher the existing homes in Rancho Mirage Country Club are in comparison to the pad elevations within the proposed project. For example, on the north side, the existing homes range between 9 and 26 feet higher than the proposed project. On the east side, existing homes will be between 4 and 24 feet higher, and on the west side, existing homes are about 3 feet higher. The only homes within Rancho Mirage Country Club that will sit lower than the pads of the proposed condominium units are along the South Loop Street. The homes are about even with the proposed pad elevations for the new condominiums, but in the middle of the South Loop Street, as you can see, existing homes will sit about 3 feet lower, as shown in red, but will have a 200-foot golf course buffer between the proposed condominiums and the existing homes. The difference in pad elevations primarily due to the natural grade of the land. The low spot also accommodates a large lake, which functions as a stormwater retention basin. Because the existing clubhouse sits lower than the existing homes, a lift station was required when the original clubhouse was built. The lift station will need to be enlarged to serve the proposed project, and conditions of approval require using state-of-the-art odor mitigation technology. We believe that the applicant has done a superb job positioning the new pad elevations and open space buffer to minimize view impacts for existing Rancho Mirage Country Club residents. This will be a phased project, and phase 1 will include perimeter parkway landscape upgrades along Vista del Sol, Frank Sinatra, and Bob Hope. I'd like to start the presentation by describing perimeter upgrades and the new circulation system for this project. As shown by the red X on the screen, the existing gatehouse on Cavendish at Bob Hope will be removed to create an unobstructed public entrance to the proposed hotel and condos in the center of the project. About 460 feet east of the existing traffic signal on Bob Hope and Cavendish, new decorative vehicular gates, shown in blue, will be installed on the north and south sides of the West Cavendish Loop to maintain security for existing Rancho Mirage Country Club residents per City Ordinance 860. Although residents may still use this point of ingress-egress, the main public entry for Rancho Mirage Country Club residents and guests will be a new facility located on Frank Sinatra. The Bob Hope entry will receive significant enhancement, including new aggregate paver bands with stone inlay, artificial turf, water-efficient landscaping, and a new center island with a unique water feature made of Corten steel with mounted landscaping. Small pockets of water will also flank the north and south sides of the entrance. The new main entry on Frank Sinatra Drive will align with the proposed gated community in Section 31 to the north. This will become the new primary entrance for residents and guests of Rancho Mirage Country Club. A deceleration lane and full turning movements will be provided at the intersection. Access to an overflow, valet, employee, and oversized vehicle parking lot is also provided at this location, as shown on the screen. We've conditioned that resort traffic using this parking lot be strictly prohibited from using the private streets through Rancho Mirage Country Club for cut-through traffic. The purpose of the gate on Vista del Sol on the right-hand side of the screen is for secondary emergency vehicle access. The new gatehouse facade on Frank Sinatra is attractive and includes details such as deep overhangs with recessed lighting, architectural fins, louvers, and attractively landscaped raised planters. Colors and materials provide a contemporary palette. Stacked bond brick planters with the shot blast California gold finish are shown in the foreground, and the structure is a mixture of white plaster, natural anodized metal siding, dark gray metal roof, and natural wood in kumaru used under the soffits. The intersection of Frank Sinatra and Bob Hope is designated as a special corner overlay. The city's expectation in this case is that landscaping be enhanced to the levels expected of primary entrances with generous proportions, upgraded landscaping, and other features of aesthetic interest. The applicant provides a unique blend of Corten steel water features and planter walls at this location. Corten Corten steel ages gracefully with a nice patina and will establish an attractive backdrop for the formally arranged shrubs. This formal shrub arrangement complements the articulate landscape design of Sunnylands on the opposite side of the intersection. Shrubs are water efficient, climate appropriate, and are consistent with the type and size used throughout this project. Sidewalks will receive stone paver inlay, and landscaping includes focus accent lights, tree and palm uplighting, as well as wall washes for the Corten berms. All landscaping along Bob Hope, Frank Sinatra, and Vista del Sol frontages will be upgraded, including new water-efficient trees, vegetation, and ground cover. Trees include willow and sweet acacia, desert museum palo verde, and fan palms. Larger shrubs include agave, ocotillo, desert spoon, aloe, and regal mist, just to name a few. Ground cover will be decomposed granite, and boulders are generously proportioned in size from 2 to 5 feet. Also, the existing perimeter wall around Rancho Mirage Country Club will be repainted, and in lieu of the tile inlay, tonal variation in color will occur. Once inside the upgraded entry on Bob Hope at Cavendish, you'll approach the existing 2-story clubhouse that will be refurbished into the hotel lobby. The existing 31.5-foot height of the clubhouse will not change. Upon arrival at the hotel lobby, which is actually the upper level of the structure, one will be greeted by majestic date palms and a porte-cochere for weather protection. The main upper level of the hotel lobby includes small meeting rooms, a bar with lounge, dining room, kitchen, and miscellaneous administrative functions. The main level of the hotel lobby also includes an outdoor terrace overlooking the pool area and central part of the resort. The lower level of the lobby is partially subterranean. The east side of that building is at grade with the pool area and hotel buildings. And the lower level includes a small spa facility, breakfast room, fitness, pro shop, cart storage, and miscellaneous back-of-house functions, including a delivery area. The total square footage of the hotel lobby is just over 31,000 square feet. Immediately east of the new hotel lobby are the hotel rooms. The north and south wings each have 15 units per floor for a total of 60 units. Each room is at least 460 square feet in size, and self-parking is provided in front of the rooms, with valet parking also being offered. The 108 condominium units are situated around the perimeter of the hotel. Each unit has a lock-off unit as detailed in the development agreement to potentially add 108 more keys to the hotel. Guest parking is adequate and double the city code requirement. Each condo has a 2-car garage and 1 additional guest parking space. We've added a condition to add several conveniently located bump outs for temporary parking of gardening, housekeeping, and delivery vehicles around these private perimeter streets that need to be shown in the final development plan. And staff will work with the applicant to ensure that these features have minimal impact on parking. This will be a phased project. Phase 1, shown in the middle and upper left corner of the screen, includes the new hotel lobby and all of its associated amenities, 60 hotel rooms, and the resort pool. Also included within Phase 1 is modification of the inner 9 holes of golf, including shortening some of the fairways and modification of the lakes to meet the hydrology requirements of this project. Phase 1 also includes the first 12 condominium units. We have also conditioned that a certified arborist evaluate all existing trees on the golf course and provide a tree replacement program as necessary to ensure that all trees are alive and thriving as a part of Phase 1. The perimeter landscaping along Frank Sinatra, Bob Hope, and Vista del Sol, along with the new entry gates, will also be completed in Phase 1. Each additional phase will contain 20 condominium units, except for Phase 5, which will have 16 units. 16 units. New landscaping leading to the hotel lobby porte-cochere includes 13 stately date palms, a water feature, Corten planter walls, and a colorful array of desert shrubs. The architecture of the refurbished clubhouse has contemporary influences from the 70s and 80s with a mix of colors, materials, and textures to give the structure a fresh and modern appeal. Exterior materials include smooth plaster, corrugated, and natural anodized metal applied in both vertical and horizontal application, natural wood soffits, powder coat fenestration, and CMU limestone. As shown on this slide, the lobby is on the left, and immediately to the east is a date palm-lined promenade that runs north and on a north-south axis that connects the centrally located resort amenities and smaller event lawns to the surrounding condominiums. A resort pool in the center is flanked with the 60 hotel rooms, and to the east of the resort pool is the main event lawn. This would be the view as seen from the terrace adjacent to the hotel lounge and dining room on the upper level of the existing clubhouse lobby. The rendering looks east towards the hotel rooms surrounding the resort pool with the main event lawn beyond. Surrounding the pool is themed Corten metal fencing, cabanas, and a mixture of date palms, acacia, and raised planters with shrubs. At the eastern end of the resort pool is the main event lawn, which is overlooked by two wings of proposed condominiums. The area is buffered from existing Rancho Mirage Country Club homes with bermed landscaping, Corten planter walls, and a small water feature. We have added a condition of approval that the berm be at least 8 feet in height to help absorb noise, deflect it back towards the hotel, and to provide an attractive visual screen for existing Rancho Mirage Country Club residents. We've also conditioned that the resort provides homeowners and the homeowners association with frequent notification of events and up-to-date contact information should noise in these outdoor spaces become an issue. Regardless, the project is required to comply with the city's noise standards. There are 27 condominium buildings that surround the hotel, each with 2 ground floor units and 2 second floor units for a total of 108 stacked condominium units. There are 2 different types of buildings, type 1, type 2, each with its own unique ground level floor plan and upper story floor plan, for a total of 4 different floor plans. This is a floor plan for Residence 2, which is about 2,000 square feet, containing 2 bedrooms, each with its own ensuite and a private enclosed courtyard. One of the bedrooms serves as a 475 square foot lock-off unit, as highlighted in yellow, and the upstairs units in Residence 2 contain the largest lock-off unit at 527 square feet. Residence 1 is slightly larger at 2,300 square feet with 3 bedrooms, including the lock-off unit. All condos include a large great room with direct access to a covered patio or balcony with an outdoor fireplace. Each unit is provided with a 2-car garage at the ground level, and in addition, 1 guest parking space is provided for each lock-off unit. This is a perspective showing the massing of Residence Type 1. Note the use of stacked bond masonry, stucco modulation, architectural louvers and fins to add an interesting shadow effect to the architecture. This rendering depicts a typical Residence 2 located along the meandering stream as shown in the foreground. Each unit will have private outdoor space overlooking the dramatically choreographed landscape. All residential buildings are consistent with the color and material palette for the hotel. Although using the same contemporary architectural style, Residence Types 1 and 2 have slightly different modulation, articulation, and application of colors and materials. The proposed architecture has a high level of interest and detail, shadow play, and an abundance of outdoor living space. In addition to the unique brand of contemporary architecture, the meandering water features are a key landscape component which sets this project apart. It's apparent that a great deal of thoughtful planning went into this unique landscape feature, which will ensure enjoyment by residents and guests. As shown in the thumbnail rendering at the top, architectural bridges will occasionally cross the stream with thoughtfully positioned seating areas overlooking the landscape. Where private streets cross the stream, The sides of the bridges will utilize theme stone and core 10 materials consistent with the overall palette of the project. The water feature gently meanders between clusters of condominium units that overlook a series of cascading waterfalls. Various trees will line the stream for shade and include rosewood, willow acacia, mesquite, mulga, and palo verde. Palm trees are interspersed among artificial turf lawns overlooking the stream. Trees will be uplit and pathway lighting is provided for nighttime ambiance and the safety and convenience of pedestrians. The City conducted an environmental assessment on this infill site, which resulted in our recommendation to adopt a mitigated negative declaration and a mitigation monitoring program. Much of the project was found to be self-mitigating through its thoughtful aspect and design. However, a few additional measures were included to ensure that impacts remained less than significant. These are addressed in the mitigation monitoring program, included as conditions of approval, and are summarized in the staff report. The Architectural Review Board endorsed the project in November. They were of the opinion that the architecture was well done, that a great deal of thought went into the design of the open spaces, minimizing height impacts and preserving view sheds for existing Rancho Mirage Country Club residents. Following the public hearing at their March 28th meeting, the Planning Commission unanimously recommended that the City Council approve this project based on the conditions, contents, and findings of the staff report. And I would be happy to answer any questions. On the screen, you have the 5 considerations before you today, and they do need to be taken in a particular order. Thank you.